between, Joel and his brother with a fucking therapist scene in the apocalypse, which I hated. You got.
I love that actress though.
I love that actress. Yeah, Home Alone lady. But she's a great actress, and she really sells the scene. And I'm saying, as far as acting goes, she did her job. But I hate the scene. I don't feel like Joel is the therapy type. And in it, he's talking weird. He's like, yeah, I'm a good guy. It's like, I don't think even Joel would even say that he believes he's a good guy just so outright.
What's up? It makes me feel like I'm a good guy, which I am. See, Dina understands me. Like she's my kid or something.
And then he goes to therapy to the woman who is the wife of somebody he killed.
Eugene. I was like, I had to look it up.
Stupid.
I was like, who?
Right, yeah. It's like, who is Eugene? And I think a lot of people will be lost with this. Eugene was a really small, tiny part of the game. I think what it was is he was one of the example of a person that just passed away naturally. So that and they were, I think it was Dina and Ellie that were talking about it. It's like, man, we can't wait to grow old and die like Eugene instead of dying horribly to these fucking apocalypse creatures out there. And I think that was important. And you're taking that and you're butchering it, and now you're giving more reasons. And all of this is clearly done to have more reasons to hate on Joel because of what's going to happen in the future. Joel is apparently he kills her husband, and she's like, it's the way that you did it, and it's like, and more deriding
She
Joel.
understood why it needed to be done though.
She did say that, but she's mad at the way he does it. And if we're talking Jackson and he's been doing this and he's in this position of power, there's no way he just murdered a man. So it has to be that her husband became
or something like that. I am optimistic about this because the one thing that I wanted from this season of television is there's a lot of gray area in the first game, and one of the reasons I didn't gel for me in the second game is they didn't leave things in the gray area. They were very definitive about like who the bad guy and who the good guy was. And I don't think that's accurate because yes, Joel killed the doctor. The doctor was going to kill an unconscious, non-consenting girl for the chance. Now, Neil has come out years later like an asshole and Neil has said, oh, it would have cured the whole world. Well, no. It would have made a cure. They wouldn't have shared with anybody. They still would have been at war with everyone. He's trying to resurrect it, but like, this doctor didn't think he was, and we, as the player, you go through and you're like, oh, he's killed other people before, and they didn't have a cure. They probably don't have the ability to manufacture a cure. So the gray area is wonderful. Like, it's a great scene, and like, Abby absolutely deserves to be pissed that her father was killed, but at the same time, as like
Joel had a reason.
And I think it's really appropriate if he's sitting down in therapy. It's a way to clue people in who didn't play the video game to let them know about the gray area. He gets to be like, he was going to kill her. She didn't agree to this. I didn't agree to this. And they get to have that conversation. And otherwise, we just leave it like they did in the video game where Joel gets yelled at by Ellie, sits there, doesn't defend himself, and then dies.
No, so I think the opposite, because the scene that this therapist scene replaces, it's the exact same setup. He says the exact same thing at the end. I saved her, and he gets that conviction after thinking about it and realizing it for a while. But he does that with characters that we care about, his brother, and that relationship was so much stronger.
As well with Tommy, because like what happens next or whatever happened.
And then just more criticism on top of Joel in order to try to retroactively say, oh, it isn't that great, it's more towards this side, and maybe Joel's a bad guy, and he's a bad influence on Ellie, he deserves to die, and so fucking shut the fuck up. And that's what we hate about that. And then another thing is, the fucking whole episode is called Future Days. Now this is another beautiful moment in the game, and it really sets the tone of the relationship and deepens the sadness of their relationship where they're not talking to each other, because there's a flashback, if I'm remembering right, a flashback before that, where Joel comes in and he's given her the guitar and he's playing a song out of Future, I think Pearl Jam song, something like that. And it's this song with lyrics that really, really apply to, resonates, it applies to the relationship. And I'm just hoping to God that for whatever reason, like maybe they're just going to do it in a flashback. It's still coming. But to name this episode Future Days and not have to play Future Days, it's the song now in my head almost confirms that episode 2 is not what we think it's going to be. That's not the golf tournament episode.
No.
It's going to be way more building up until the end to try to set that up, which sucks because it's going to be annoying, but whatever. And then I think there's more, and we'll get to. I think they've done the dance scene perfectly. That was a great recreation of the game. Wonderful. So for me, ups and downs. Bella, I hate to start to agree with some people that were already hating with her in season 1, but I'm finding different criticisms than those. I want to make that clear. I do think it's becoming a problem now, and I guess once the moment happens, then that's when the TV version of Bella is going to essentially turn into the video game version of Ellie. But we'll see. So let's go ahead and give our final verdicts for this episode, the premiere of season 2, Titanic.
I like it. I'm gonna go with a 7. There's some things that, like we discussed already, didn't really work. Bella is. I'm hoping she'll change later. I'm liking the performances by Pedro. Great stuff. I'm hoping this season we see maybe some more affected.
Oh yeah, so that was a problem. I went back and watched our previous reviews. We felt like the Infected were not enough,
exactly,
especially for $10 million an episode.
And that suit that they wasted.
Yeah, I did like the stalker here. We'll get into it in spoilers. The stalker was amazing. I even loved the fucking cordyceps almost having a life of its own. It's just so cool. So more of that. I'm glad that it was here. That's why I'm going to give this episode credit, but we want to maintain.
Yeah, I want to continue that. Just whenever we get to Abby, I hope we don't focus more on that stuff and then not the Infected.
Yeah. One more, jump in real quick here because I forgot to mention it. One more change that I don't like, and I know they do this for the TV, but if you're going to drag this out, which I already know you're going to drag it out, I don't think it's in episode 2. They're going to drag this out. Don't order it like this. You just removed all of the fucking tension by all the audience already knows why Abby wants to kill, Joel. And it's so weird too, like the characters, I felt like I was watching a CW show initially. They're so clean, they're so like, teenager hot or whatever. It's like, it was weird. It was like, am I watching The Last of Us? Why are they so clean? They're not dirty, they're part of the Fireflies, they have all this, whatever. But I felt like that kind of ruined it. We needed to keep her reasons kind of ambiguous and then have that big emotional reveal and do that and kind of string along. But no, they just kind of, they're just like explaining everything to the audience. And it's kind of annoying. It removes some of that nuance and that inferring and the audience kind of doing some thinking. It's all done for them. So I thought that also hurt it as well. Alex?
I like parts of it. I think I like the kind of the grocery store thing. I love that we're getting with the Infected, kind of leading with it, though I don't like. There's something off for me when I'm watching these scenes about these two girls breaking in there and just kind of being so cavalier about something.
Oh yeah, that was another thing.
And it's just like
it was kind of awkward when they fought.
Yeah, it's like there's 6. There's 6 Infected killing a bear, and they're like, oh my god, how dangerous is this thing? And then they're kind of. I get that Ellie thinks that she's indestructible and she has this whole thing where she doesn't necessarily care, and she's not quite suicidal, but it's not super far off from that. But it's like, I would expect at least Dina to be like, what are you doing? This is dangerous. And so like Dina was kind of along for the ride. So I think some of the tone is kind of weird. But overall, I think it's definitely above average. It was a little slow. I think we're setting some things up and we're making some changes. But I think it's an above average season premiere, but I don't know. I have a lot of things that I'm potentially worried about that I'm trying not to take out on this specific episode.
What did you give it?
A 6.
Golf club. That is actually my score as well, and that's kind of low for me because I've been given this series 9s and 10s in season 1, so slightly above average. A lot of things missing, and is not. I didn't think it was quite as well executed. Plus, I'm not a big fan of this particular story. Anyway, 6 out of 10 for the opening. We'll see in episode 2. Do we get, or are they going to drag it out? Predictions, Joe. Are they going to drag it out? What episode? Episode 3?
Yes.
Alex, what episode? Remember there's 7.
4.
4?
Damn.
Okay. I wanted 2. I know it's not going to be 2. I'm going to say episode, is it 3?
He still got a ways to go. She sold the place.
And there's still tons of flashbacks and stuff for next season too. So
6. I'm going to go
No.
6. I just
Ain't
feel
no
like,
way.
why split this into 2 seasons? There has to be this huge emotional break. It's 6 or 7. It's goddamn 6 or 7.
I'm just gonna be like,
I'll
do it already.
I'll
Jesus
respect it a
Christ.
little bit more if they get it done in episode 2. But all right. So for all those particular reasons, and yeah, here we go. And it's time to go to the golf tournament. We shall see.
Yep.
Okay. If you want to stick around for the episode breakdown and the spoilers, extra spoilers, then stick around. If not, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you and see you on the next
Where you
Angel
go,
Show.
Joe?
If I ever were to lose you, I surely lose myself.
I'll leave my goat.
Days of you and me.
Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. You asked for it. The game has been out for like a fucking decade. Joel is going to be murdered by Abby. Abby is going to get fucking jacked. She's going to be bigger than Alex.
not gonna get
And
jacked.
she is.
She said
So you think they already said it? The actress is like, nah, I'm not getting
Right,
jacked.
well, yeah,
Oh, that
Robert,
sucks.
like probably in shape, but not gonna be.
So that means that her boyfriend or
some muscles.
her crew is gonna beat up Joe 4, and then she's gonna take it out on him when he's helpless. That fucking sucks. Even more. I would hate that even more than what? Than just big old, you know, these arms, and you just get your cabeza explodes. And, if you're a zombie. Anyways, okay, so we get the recap. We get some giraffes, teasing into season 1 stuff, and then we get introduced to Abby, and she's like, she's not jacked, and people are like, this is so stupid. It's like, yeah, but wait to see what they do with her in 5 years.
Yeah.
If they put some CGI muscles on her, then we can laugh at it. If they don't, then we